Fix old cameras. Your successful completion of the demonstrated repair ultimately depends on the quality of your tools, the condition of your camera, and most importantly, your repair ability.
When there is a meter failure in a Mamiya DTL or a TL, it is very likely caused by a battery contact disconnection from the lead wire. It corrodes, and the corrosion follows the wire up, and the wire is to the point where it usually cannot be soldered to. The bottom cover will have to be removed to get started, obviously. The only thing of note in removing the bottom cover is the rewind button needs to be turned clockwise to loosen. Of course, the top cover will also need to be removed. The only thing of note on the top cover, well, actually there's a couple things, but we'll cover the little set screw that's in the advanced lever retainer. You can't generally access the set screw because you can't get the decorator button plate off without damaging it. So by applying a thick rubber band around the retainer and using a small pair of channel locks, and then just squeezing gently but firmly, you're able to force the retainer past the point of the set screw. When you lift the retainer up, you'll feel the resistance of the meter off button friction fit. Note the scars left by the set screw. And the friction fit point is bent just a little bit, but that can be squeezed back together. There is a Fix Old Camera video that covers the top cover removal in detail. Okay, on to the matters at hand. This next part you might love, or maybe not. But we are going to remove the old wire from its land and reroute. That's kind of hard to say. Say that 3 times fast. Find a new route for the battery wire so that we do not have to run it along the inside of the mirror box. To do that, the prism in the mirror box would need to be removed. So we're going to run it through some holes that are accessible along the side of the lens mount, across the bottom of the camera, and through a hole that's already in the bottom cover. Well, not the bottom cover, the bottom plate. And then we're going to solder it to the battery contact and put the battery chamber in place. A discerning viewer might note that the new battery wire, changed colors. It's now red, but that's so we can discern it from the old battery wire. So we're not looking at 2 blue wires. Anyway, feed the new battery wire through the hole and reach up underneath through the battery chamber hole with a pair of curved tweezers to work the wire out where you have a nice long lead that you'll be able to solder the old battery contact to, or possibly a new one. You'll note that the wire is not stripped here, and it would need to be insulation stripped off before you attempt to solder that to the new contact. And before you solder the contact to that wire, you need to slip the wire through the plastic battery holder and then seat the battery holder, noting the notch that clears the lever. Another note is that there are several versions of battery chambers and switch configurations. With the battery chamber installed and the contact soldered, check the route of the wire to make sure that it's not binding on the meter chain. Put the bottom cover on before you put the front cover so that you can make sure that the wire is routed properly. That, again, was difficult to say. With the wire in good position, the front cover plate that goes around the good grief, the lens mount can be positioned. Again, you have to pay attention to the wire so that it's not pinched as you slide it into the grooves of the PC socket cover and the switch cover. When the front cover plate is properly seated, it'll look like this. Now there's nothing left but to put in the screws of the front plate and install the top cover. Refer to the Fixo camera video mentioned earlier to get the timing of the shutter speed dial set properly for reinstallation. Well, such rerouting of the meter wire probably would not have been approved by Mamiya, but it does save the novice from having to pull the mirror box from the camera, which can actually be quite difficult to reinstall. Anyway, have fun.
Thank you for watching. Inspired? Check back for new video postings.